Good morning.
Good morning.
Yo, Art Beauty Living family, coming to you live from Los Angeles. We're gonna get right into it. Special guest, you know who he is, Richard Diaz.
No. So we call you
Welcome back,
Batman.
my brother.
Just so you know, we call you Batman around here. So if you ever hear the Batman lingo, we referring to you because you do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's good? What you say?
Not much, man. Just sitting here and enjoying this beautiful atmosphere, sitting down, collaborating, talking about our community, sharing with the people all the different ideas and things that we can do that they can benefit from over the discussions that we have. I think that you guys are doing a great job pushing out the information, sharing things, and clarifying, edifying situations that are going on in the community. And it's glad to be here again. We can sit down and share this information.
Okay. Definitely.
Now, one thing we talked about that I thought was interesting was, I don't mean to jump right into it, but just because we only got 30 minutes, I wanted to talk about the Chase program.
Right. So
a little bit.
Let me grab it a little bit. Okay, so Inglewood Times works with Inglewood Youth Foundation and other foundations in Inglewood, and we work with Chase. There's a brother that by the name of Christopher Bean. Christopher comes out, and we have at the bank, there's several chairs. They got like gift bags that provide a little food, and they bring the kids in and they're teaching them financial literacy. So the classes a lot of times aren't as full as they should be because I don't think we get the information out there.
Right.
But what the financial journal and the information is about credit, achieving your goals, it's showing these kids how to purchase a home, it's showing them how to balance a checkbook, how to apply for credit utilization. So if you have Equifax, Beacon, and Experian, that's your personal credit. When the kids come in, you're teaching them. You got $100 on the credit card, you can use $25 utilization, and your credit score is still okay. If you use $100 on a $100 credit card, your score goes down. It doesn't go back up.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we don't know in our community that we really need to teach our kids. So the Inglewood Times sponsors Inglewood Youth Foundation and other foundations. There's another foundation by Doris Obey called 40 Love, and she deals with the tennis. She teaches tennis, works with disadvantaged kids, and there's multiple other organizations that come in, and we put these kids in these chairs inside of Chase. Right here on Century, Christopher Bean put together as a community liaison.
Mm-hmm.
We're able to fill these seats with these kids and teach them how to balance their bank book, how to sit down and engage in doing business, how to set up a corporation. What are the things that you need? And it helps them to put them on a track where instead of sitting down trying to think about the violence and some of the videos and some of the prop things that they watch on TV, how to acclimate life from a real standpoint. And what we wanted to do was reach out and say, look, we'll post these things on the Inglewood Times, on our social media, we'll post it on your social media, we'll talk about it, and these kids are all invited. It's free. You can't get that type of information for free, not even in the streets. I went to Hampton University recently, and we were talking about the same program, met with the president, and they have financial literacy for all members of Hampton and all parents to share with all the community for free. And they're starting to get to that point where if we don't start to have some form of literacy or financial literacy going on to where we understand how we can implement or change what's going on with our youth, they know they're gonna be in trouble. So it's just something that I'm glad that you touched on and reminded me about.
Yeah.
Christopher Bean is that point go-to person.
Christopher Bean.
Christopher Bean.
Bean,
And we
okay.
will have the information listed in the chat. I mean, we'll have the information listed once we get a chance to put all the information in the box on our YouTube. If you get a chance, like hit the like button. I just want to ask the table by a show of hands, how many people had financial literacy training when they were younger or in school or anything?
I'm going to say no, but I did have a very nice bug in my ear every day. My dad used to always tell me,
That's good.
That was my
That's good.
uncle.
He
That's
told me
training.
that every
And
day.
it's important because you figure, even with credit, man, like they don't teach us so much about credit. You end up paying so many people to fix your credit, and it's just things you can do on your own once you become more literate, you know.
Right, right.
And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like for example, if I don't know if you know, but like let's say you have something on your credit older than 3 years. You know what I mean? Depending on what it is, you can dispute it, and it'll fall off. And if you choose the option, the contract related to this account no longer exists or is canceled, it falls off your credit because the contract is no longer in existence anymore once they write that debt off on taxes that you owe.
Right.
So once that falls off, that bill collector, legal gangster that calls you, that's why they're so quick to settle. Because it's already paid off. So they making money out of thin air. And if you say the contract is canceled, they gotta go to court. When they go to court, they're not gonna have the paperwork, so they're not gonna show up.
You got federal laws that protect consumers, and when you're dealing with credit, you got two different types of credit. So you have Equifax, Beacon, and Experian, and then you have Dun and Bradstreet. And the Dun and Bradstreet is a business credit, totally different. When you have negatives and things like that on your credit report, you can dispute them, but most of these people have to take them off of Equifax, Beacon, and Experian. Sometimes they come off one, or you pay these credit debt consolidation companies to take off these trade lines, and they come back on. And so you have to have, like when Christopher and these different people are teaching and you sit down in these classes, they're gonna tell you the correct ones to go to. Because those are the ones that are gonna follow the rules. When they dispute, there's a round of dispute that they do, there's a way that they do it, and it comes off the credit report permanently. Problem is, some people is paying thousands and thousands of dollars for credit repairs. And when they come in and pay these thousands of dollars, you be like, yeah, my credit is good to go, I'm about to buy a house.
Right.
Bam, bad trade line come back up on one of your credit scores.
During
So
escrow.
now you was at 750, your score dropped down to 620, and you need a 720 or a 740 with 3 or 4 trade lines in order to purchase the property.
Right.
So there's a equilibrium. There's a
There
way
you
for
go. I
us to
see what
sit
you
down
did
and
there.
balance the information that we bring in
Yes.
Yeah.
when we take these classes and when we share this information.
Right, right.
I would like to say, like, this information is very informative.
And we will be sharing it too in the
Very.
shop. Yes.
I would also like to say, just even to the root of it, just make sure you don't live above your means,
Yeah.
That's the main
that's
thing.
simple,
'Cause
but
then you
very
have to worry
effective.
About these collection agencies and stuff. Figure out a system to pay your bills. I know I share mine often. It's the dumbest tactic I could ever do, but it's been working for me over 20 years. Just add up all your bills and however you get paid. If it's weekly, bi-weekly, divide it, by 4 or by 2. So each week or bi-week, when you know how much you get paid, you subtract that amount from from your what you get paid, and you don't have to worry about it. And if you feel like you need to get different accounts for
Budget.
to budget and to know where everything is allocated, do that. I also was watching. Shout out to that show on Netflix. What was it? Get Smart with Money.
Yeah, I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, and one of the ladies that was on there, has a book called Get Smart with Money. So we just have to stay on top of that. Like credit and financial literacy. We shouldn't be scared of it. I try my hardest to preach to the younger cats that sit in my chair, about being smart with money and what to do, and try to give them as much as I know
Each one teach one.
Yeah, because I want the youth to be better than me. Because just like you said, we need to, let if we don't teach our kids, we're gonna be in trouble.
And it's important to know too that just because you might be in a situation where your credit's bad, people got a 400 to 300, you can come back from that.
Yeah,
that's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You can be a comeback kid.
You're a few. Trust me, my credit's been horrible.
Yeah,
it's pretty good right now. But it's things you can do. You can get a secured credit card.
Yeah.
You can go to your bank and give them a deposit and use that to get a secured credit card. Start off there. It's all types of people that will give you credit. You know what I mean? For different, you can go get a piece of jewelry and start building your credit and make payments on that. And over time, that'll build your credit up.
Let's say you can get a gas card.
That's a secure credit card.
I know, like I got unusual amount of debt right now that I put myself into, and it's different for me because I've never been in debt. So just managing that right now, it's been an interesting journey, but
it's funny. You mentioned earlier, you said if you have $100 on a credit card, you use $25. Just being aware of the credit card usage is so important. And how many people graduate high school with no financial literacy, then get hit with that credit card right off top?
Yeah, because we go to, it's a lot of places that just throw these things in our faces, and it's a lot of things that we just need to learn that we do not learn as far as life. And these things are very important. I'm glad that we are now finally taking the time to say, what, we need to start educating one another and being more smart about our finances. Like I'm always, I'm not the best at it, but I'm always trying to make sure that I stay on top of it, because you don't want to be old and broke. That's pretty much.
Like, we say our people a lot too. We need to become more financially literate and this and that. Well, we don't have the resources, and sometimes we look worse than other people who have the resources. They just as frivolous with their money at times too. They make mistakes, they have shortcomings, but they know about the things that helps them get out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? They have the resources. So we don't have those resources, but YouTube, is just a click away. This program.
And Dad Bod God in the chat room said he had a kid that turned 18. And he put them on the as an authorized user on his credit lines and help them start building their credit. So that's also a technique that people may or may not know about. But if you have a credit card and you do have children, you can add them as an authorized user, and now you're already building their credit. So that's a good technique too also.
And also, I just want to touch for the businesses out there, just like Richard mentioned, the fact is, even though you have credit and you have a business, oftentimes the first thing they want to do is use your personal credit, okay? They want to use your personal credit. You have to build your business credit also. So Dun & Bradstreet is a great resource, it's information. You have to have those revolving accounts, pay them off. You have to also build your business credit. Some of the things that are true for personal credit are not true for business credit, and you have to know the differences. And I think that's great information, this program. So we're going to definitely check it out more. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thanks, Rick.
I'll give you like a friend, so you can go and there's different apps that you have on your phone. So if you got a $5,000 or $10,000 credit card and you got $100 utilization, your score is gonna fly up. And then to make it applicable for what we're learning, a lot of times we have big topics and we want to make whatever it is that we talk about something you can do something with. So if you have in your family members of the military, you can have them help you to open an account by referring you to like Navy Federal. Navy Federal will get a code from that relative, and then you're able to open that account. You put $10,000 or $200 or $5,000 into an account, Navy Federal will give you back your money the same day, and they will turn that into a trade line. It'll have a payment, $20, $30 a month. But now you got a trade line, and you have no credit. So now you're building a trade line that doesn't affect or have any impact on your credit report. Most of the time when people apply for a credit, or you get a money with the bank that you add on to a card, they actually run your credit.
Right.
And you don't want to hit on your credit, because on your credit specifically, anytime you have an inquiry or a hit, it lowers your score and it lowers your capacity to purchase. A lot of times we look and see a lot of these youngsters in these video games or in these hot videos that our youth are watching, and they got the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis. And I was telling the brother the other day, I buy Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and I'll rent them out and I'll sell them. But it's not for me to keep, just to be, you know what I mean? I know that there's a profit margin in it, and it's fun to have it. It looks good. But a lot of these brothers sit down, they smoking a little weed, and they watching the Ferrari and the dude with the bag of money and all these things, and that leads into the conversation we had talking about the shooting with PNB Rock. The people nowadays are seeing in their mind these images. But if you really look at how white people and several rich people that understand credit, how they behave, and you got to tie in the credit to our conversation.
Yeah, and what you watching.
Yeah, it's saying this dude got a Bentley that's $500,000 and it's on and cracking. He's only paying $250 a month for that Bentley because he got a high credit score. If your credit score could give you $500,000, you're gonna pay $4,000 or $2,000 a month. But the brother, he got to figure out how to get a $500,000 Bentley. This is where you get into a desperation based on miseducation. So he gonna kill 2-3 people, steal some chains, put $200,000-$300,000 on the car, ain't got no job. Red flag. As soon as you go to the bank, they want to know where you got $250,000 from. And if he did make payments and went to CarMax and the car was high as Methuselah with the 400 credit score, if their payment was $250 a month, your payment would be $1,500 a month.
Right.
They drive the same car you got for $99 a month.
Yeah.
And you out there after you done watch your movie thinking you flossing and you got it like that. You paying $3,000 a month.
That's
Right,
that keeping up with the
Right.
Joneses.
Or just go get the real old one to say I got it.
The real
Not a
old.
1990 Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying?
Humble up.
Yeah.
It's funny you say images, man. That's the windows to the soul, man. What you see, ooh, that's powerful.
And I think that affects a lot of people, because that's why we have commercials. That's why you see all these things. That's why you have branding and marketing, and that's why celebrities get these deals. That's why you see people on TV driving a certain car, because they know if you see them in it, what you gonna want to do?
Like
You gonna want to go get
Shaq ain't
that.
got no Buick.
Yeah, but it looks good. But then when you add on top of that a whole entire lifestyle that somebody is showing you, that is an illusion. Like a lot of times those houses are rented. Those vehicles are rented.
Changes that.
Those that jewelry's not real a lot of times.
That jury
It's on
ain't
loan.
real, dog.
So now you have a movie basically. You have a
That
small
bang,
movie
bang.
that you're presenting as reality, and then you have people trying to keep up with something that is scripted completely from beginning to end, not based in reality at all.
They taking it real.
Yeah,
Right.
and then you
gotta put it in there where you see the video games that they play. The characters are video games.
right.
And in these movies that you watch, and if you watch Stars or all these different movies that, you know, it's good because it's portraying what people really go through in life. But when that character gets shot, you're gonna see him on another show next week. When these brothers run out in the street and gun down a brother, he's not coming back. There's no
Right.
water you're gonna throw on the ground, and it's gonna
So
bring you back a 44-year-old man or a 30-year-old kid or a 25-year-old kid's life. So the images, we got to be mindful that all these images that these brothers is going out here to go get shouldn't lead to a desperation to go get it, because most of it, there's a correct way to go get it.
right. And it's a way to get it where you can sleep at night. You don't have to look over your shoulder.
Right.
You don't have to worry about the police.
Right.
You can live your life. You can
I mean,
raise your children.
You take your biggest dope dealer in the hood right now, he probably can run any company. Any company, if you teach him financial literacy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, he knows financial literacy.
Management.
Mathematics is probably better than all.
Sorry.
He knows financial literacy.
But that's a dangerous person, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, to the corporate world.
And this and that you got to be careful with. Because remember, if you're dealing with politics, the United States does not go to a country and shake hands on an everyday basis. I mean, they dropping bombs right now,
Right.
and they exchanging. I mean, you've seen the history of America, and you've seen the history of business. Business could be some brutal stuff, but at the same time, it's not for the faint of heart. Not everybody can do business. Some people are in a channel where they got to be workers. Some people got to be where they set up businesses, but we all have we have an opportunity to look at where we want to go with our lives. A lot of these brothers and sisters that we have out here, if we speak to them like we're speaking to them right now,
Right.
we show them that it's different steps than to be sitting in the car smoking weed, figuring out who they're gonna go kill. There's other places you could go to, or some brothers that's around you nowadays, or sisters, need to sit down and talk to some of these brothers. You got the mentality of some of these people that's all they've seen is the TV with no type of education, and they feel like that's how they got to go get it.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Let me interject. I was talking to one of my best friends yesterday, and he said, if you check the text message of the, few of the people that you recently texted, check out the conversation. You guys, take notice to the conversation you have. If you're not having conversations, 6-figure conversations, you need to start having conversations with people that you can have 6-figure conversations with. And even if you don't have that, Shonda put in the group chat, they have Earn Your Leisure. They come on YouTube and they have, certain things that at least it's a start.
Right.
Right.
At least it's a start. You can start somewhere, and
That's a
now
good point.
we're being more, proactive with financial literacy. Because just like you said, the video games and these NFL and sports players, some of them they got the chains, but some of that bling bling is bang bang. It's,
And the literacy is important because you got a lot of people that's managing a lot of these stars, a lot of these sports figures, and them brothers is broke.
or they become broke.
Yeah, these people is managing their money the wrong way.
Just
and
like-
you don't know how to manage it yourself.
Yeah, just like the show I was saying, Get Smart with Money on Netflix. I forgot the football player that was on there, but he almost, went broke, because he
We've
spent
all
all
seen
his-
those stories, 30
Yeah.
for 30,
All the time.
athlete after athlete. Because a lot of times, too, when it comes to money and getting a lot of money in a shorter period of time, people don't have the foresight to look down the road and say, okay, I might be getting $5 million a year,
the
but I'm only going
taxes is coming.
taxes, and how long will you be making $5 million a year?
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
how long is the average career in the NBA or NFL? If that money's not invested properly or just saved and not spent, going back to what you said earlier about
Or
living
budgeting,
living beyond your means,
Yeah.
that's crucial, and it all ties in because you're trying to, not just poor people, rich people are also trying to live a lifestyle that might not be affordable.
Exactly.
You know,
I just want to say also, they say the average for sports, NFL 2 years after retirement, NBA 5 years, so that's not a long time at all. Also, we've seen you represent the Inglewood Times, right? We've talked about many programs. We've talked about the city of Inglewood. As you guys know, Inglewood was bankrupt it seemed like yesterday now. You know what I mean? It was a lot of things in the city. We couldn't even get a grocery store here in the city that would want to come. If you look down a 20-block radius in Inglewood, there's businesses popping up. I can't even drive down the street
everything.
in 2 weeks and see something that's not new to me. You know what I mean? So I do want to say, sometimes when you bring the money, is where the money resides. Businesses
Where the
come.
money
Where the
You know what I
money
mean?
resides.
Exactly. People
Yeah.
want to come and be a part of this, and that's one of the things now that we say all the time. Jump in on
Money
this.
talks.
Get your place and do something in the city. Be a part of your community before you don't have the chance to do it. So I just want to say that.
All right, we got a question
Okay.
for you, Richard, from the chat room. AJ says, how do you combat debt, limited resources, and low earned income? What resources or encouragement do you have for those that live paycheck to paycheck, especially in low income neighborhoods?
Great question, AJ.
I would say, and I say it again, a child never came out the female and ran track the next day. So everything in life is a process, right?
Right.
So if you are working a job and you decide now I'm gonna have a mindset that I want to get out of where I'm at. So now you have chambers. These are people in the community that is a community of businesses that network. And then you have different nonprofit organizations where you could go, like over to the vets. I'll give you a list that I'll share with you. You could go and you can get suits and stuff for free. And you go and you meet people that have things. If you walked into a room full of millionaires and you had no money, the information you finna walk out with is gonna help you get money. And that's the mindset that you need to have. The job is to keep you stable while you figure in your mind and your heart how you want to use your creativity to do and be better. Right? I had been homeless at one time, been through all of that, had absolutely nothing, been there, done that. My son and my daughter, my son is going to Drew right now to college. My daughter is going, he's going to Drew to be a doctor. This is 3rd year. My daughter, I just took her to Hampton, flew out to Virginia. It was really nice. In my struggles, I had to sit down in a garage and sit down in the living room and borrow a computer or go to the library and learn how to set up a corporation. Talk to people who knew how to put the pieces together, because in our community, it don't seem like people sit down and show us, they tell us what they got, and then they show us what they got, but they don't show us how the hell they get it.
Right.
Thank
So,
you for saying
so
that.
your
Exactly.
question is, yeah, man, you can start from nothing to something, but your mindset got to be about everybody
Sharing.
and your family. You got to share. You can't get up and not put a hand down. A lot of brothers get in, lock their house away, and nobody else got information. They want to know how come everybody dying in the neighborhood.
Right.
Well, people is trying to eat. If you put a wolf in the wilderness, and all of a sudden you take up all his land, and now he ain't got nowhere to go. You see coyotes walking around Inglewood.
Right.
He ain't got nowhere to be. And you do that to a black man or a Hispanic man or a poor white man or whatever you want to call him. If you don't take that person and invite them into how to change not having the resources to getting the resources, then that's going to be the man that's taking your chain.
Right.
That's going to be man jacking you at the gas station.
Right.
That's going to be the man that's sitting on the roof watching some ops because he ain't had no conversation with nobody else, and that's how
Right.
he's getting his money.
Taking your catalytic converter.
You know,
And I
Whatever it
think
takes.
I think that's important, because the message in that is like, don't worry about where you are.
Yeah.
Focus on where you want to be, and then
Facts.
if every fiber of your body wants to move in that direction, you're gonna find it. You're gonna seek it out, and it's a mindset, because from the time you get up, from the time you plan your week, your day, everything needs to be moving in the direction of success, in the direction of your dreams, your hopes, your goals. So that's who you hang out with. Like you was talking about earlier, how you spend your free time, how you budget in your money. All that stuff plays a role in the overall, where you land at.
And you gotta be willing to spend a little bit of some money too.
Yeah.
You gotta take a calculated risk.
Yeah. So, and then I give you something really brief. If you have no credit, no money, and you talk to some of your uncles or family members that have it, and you say, look, man, can you put me on as a user on your credit card? You can't use that credit card, but it's going to report to Equifax, Beacon, and Experian that you have a trade line. What happens is you're making $15 an hour, but you got 3 or 4 uncles that put you on their credit card. So now when you apply for credit, you're going to get a Navy Federal or Chase credit card for $15,000 to $20,000 or $30,000. You're going to go down to the city. You're going to get you a business license for $75. You don't have an actual place where you can pay rent because you ain't making enough money to own your own business. So then maybe you want to get a virtual office for $99 a month. You're going to save some of the money you have. You're going to open up a mailbox so you can get your mail in there, get you a website set up, get some information on these websites and do some research.
Right.
Spend a couple hours a month putting some effort into what it is you want. And eventually, you're going to realize that when you put positive energy into anything, people is going to flow back with more positive energy. So now not only are you going to have a business, but I'm going to call you and I'm going to tell you, look, you ain't got enough money to put your advertisement out, call me. I'm going to put your advertisement up, and I'll put your advertisement up Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on printed newspaper for free for a whole year. I want to see you do good. But if we don't own something, how could you call me and tell me to help you? Because I don't own nothing. White boy is my boss, and he got to tell me, look, Richard, you can't take that ad because I don't like that dude.
Right.
You can't tell me that because I own this. And everything that I do is so that we have a different opportunity. We have the Inglewood Youth Foundation. You can go to the Inglewood Youth Foundation and send an email and ask questions about any type of financial literacy class, free clothing, tokens for transportation. You can have an event. Buses will come and pick you up. You schedule it. They'll take you to your event, introduce you to other people that have things. introduce you to the colleges that have free money for you to go to college.
Right.
There's a lot of things, but it says, I think in the Bible, the Quran, everything else that you read, it's saying, if you ask, seek and knock. If you ask, you will receive. If you seek, you'll find. If you knock, the door will be open to you. So don't worry about being on the ground floor. Baby, like I said, baby didn't come out of the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So that
right,
means you
right.
gotta follow the process and not try to let the world fool you and have it overnight. Because all these brothers that had it overnight, were sitting down on 24-hour lockdown in prison. They were the biggest and the toughest and the roughest of OGs. And they waiting for a package for you. They're trying to get you to come visit. Ain't nobody in the middle of their day from your stop. And it's sad, because some of the brothers is in there that don't even be here. And whatever they do, they chose to do because they wanted their fast money. They didn't know about the process of the right way. That one day when they took that man's life in 1996, 1991, 1971, or 10 years ago, still in jail. And the amount of change inside completely. But you got to have somebody out there to talk to about this. That's what these things that we have right now is for. To educate, to share, to allow us to have our own advertisement. Like I tell them, but I don't know money in the newspaper. I said, man, if I got a hundred ads at $1,000 to $20,000, 4 weeks is in a month. If I got a minimum of my people putting advertising with us, half our advertising goes into the youth foundation to provide money and education for you to get a business license, for you to get sued, for you to be able to learn how to handle your own life a different way. And it's free to you. Then why not patronize each other's business?
Right.
Because if we got money in our hand, we're able to help other people. And it's not about black and white. Because if you ain't never walked out in the world and everybody was black. You ain't walked out in the world and everybody was white. You ain't walked out and everybody is Hispanic. Your mentality gotta be, I'm gonna get mine while I'm moving on the way, I'm gonna help other people. Right after Florence and some other places that we had, I had a conversation because I'm dealing with a housing unit for kids and families at a disadvantage. And it's 13 bedroom, 12 bathroom. And the idea is to have a nice clean place for people to come live in and they're going to be paying $300 a month while they transition into a new life. So $50 an hour is going to change and they'll be able to have access to different things because where they live at is clean and nice. But the problem we have is you got other people with $20-30 million that are being franchised corporations and the plan checkers from the cities are holding black businesses. They're telling us to bring these businesses, but they're holding us hostage. They don't, the plan checkers got more power than the rest of the politicians. So you can't even get your building built in order to put things out there. We have to, as a people, sit down and not only have an idea to
So
start from nothing
there's
to build
a basically like a hold up in the planning, right?
all day long. You got people
Okay.
that pay $30,000 a month for a dream that they put together, got a loan for their business, and the plan checkers, all they got to do is approve it and you can build your building. Right now, if you have this property you bought and you financed it, there's a note that's associated with that every month. And in the black community, if you look at most of the blacks and the Latinos, when they come through the plan check, it's dragged out for 2 years before a set of plans is even approved. And then you can make calls to different people and it falls on deaf ears. And I think that they need to go way up top and talk to the politicians and let them look. If you go on the same block, some Asian people and some white people and some other people that built buildings,
Big business, basically.
the plans is done in 6 months. We got a whole stadium in Inglewood that's already complete. This is $5 billion stadium. You got people that been building. I got brothers that own stores and different places that they purchase, and they can't open their doors because nobody's listening to them.
Exactly.
And the plan checkers is blocking them. All they have to do, and the problem is everything is in compliance. These people feel so privileged to be where they at. They could take vacation, come back and deal with your paperwork when they feel like it. They don't answer emails. If you get on them, now they're going to make your stuff take longer to get done.
Right.
And this is the problem that we have in our community because we only got so much money. They could break us, and all the other people, they're doing what they got to get done. So how are you telling us to give businesses and create businesses, and then the red tape is coming from the very entity that's telling us to have it?
So is
Right.
that a city council problem? Who are the people
That's
that
not city
can
council.
change?
That would be
Who's
planning department or the plan checkers individually. Sometimes
Right,
they
but
got
who are the
bosses.
people who are, because it's the city, so who are the people who can basically make the change in the department?
I believe that there's a hierarchy in every city, and there's a procedure of people.
Right.
There's
I really wish we had more time. I
No.
think we need to touch on that. Maybe you can come back another time. We can talk about that in particular, because I know a few people that I know are trying to open a business right now that's going through that, and people need to know. We can have another show on actually starting your businesses and everything. But one more time for the people that's watching, where can they find out more information about the programs you were speaking about? Is there a website?
Yeah, so you can go to Inglewood Youth Foundation, www.inglewoodyouthfoundation.org, or you can go to Inglewood Times, www.inglewoodtimes.com. You're able to give us a call, shoot us an email at info@inglewoodtimes.com. We'll be able to help you with your businesses.
Okay.
We'll be able to work with you on your advertisement, and then we'll show you where you could go to get help, to speak to people that can help you on your path. Because
That's
right
great.
now, we need to have a path to owning things, and having this forum right here is awesome, and it's going to go great. And I really appreciate.
We appreciate you, brothers.
Yes, thank you.
Man, it's always a great conversation with you.
Very informative.
Thank you. Yeah, we got to have you back on again and get more into depth on the business and how to overcome some of these obstacles and what we can do as a people to watch out for these pitfalls and snares. But we appreciate you. Thank everybody for watching the show today. We will put all this information in the links
Appreciate you.
later on.
Thank you.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and share some of this knowledge with some.
Kick it up.